Okay, good afternoon everyone. Today we will going to discuss about speed control of three-phase induction motor from rotor side. So in that, first one is rotor rheostatic control. So rotor rheostatic control is applicable for slip ring rotor. Okay, so three-phase supply is given to the stator side. So here a rotor is in between the stator winding. So rotor also having a three-phase star connected windings are present, that is connected to the slip rings. So these slip rings are connected to the external rheostat. Rheostat means it is a resistance. Okay, you can vary the external rheostat. So due to this, you can control the speed of the rotor. Okay, this is called as rotor rheostatic control. So rotor resistance, that is represented by R2, right? So what is your torque equation? So torque equation, that is torque is directly proportional to, that is S into E2 square into R2 divided by R2 square plus Sx2 whole square. So this is your torque equation. So in this for low slip reason, when slip is low at that time, so what happen? Sx2 whole square, it is very less than R2. Okay, whenever slip is less, slip is lower means so resistance is high. Okay, in that case, therefore torque is directly proportional to S into R2 divided by R2 square. So this is directly proportional to S by R2. So if R2 increases, your torque will be going to be decreases. Okay. So according to this equation, R2 is increases, the torque is going to be decreases. Okay. And speed can be varied. So when slip is increases, so speed is going to be decreases. Okay. So this is also another condition. Okay, according to this, the rotor rheostatic control method that can be performed. Okay, so here a lot of energy is going to be wasted because of I square R loss. Because of resistance is present, the current flowing through the resistance, so heat will be produced, so that heat loss it will be occurring. So due to this, efficiency is going to be decreased. Okay, efficiency of the motor is going to be decreasing by means of this type of method. So next method is cascade control. So what is that cascade control? So look to the diagram. In this method, this is the main motor, that is called as motor A. It's called as main motor. The three-phase supply is given to the main motor, especially it is a slip ring rotor. So the connection, external connection of the slip ring, that is connected to the second motor, that is motor B, and both the motors are coupled on the same axis, that is the same shaft. This is called as shaft, coupled with the same shaft. So this is the arrangement. So in this method, the motor are used are ordinarily mounted on the same shaft. Here, both the motors are mounted on same shaft. Okay. So next, so that both run at same speed. Both run at same speed. the motor A and motor B both will run at same speed. So what happens? The stator winding of the main motor, that is A motor, is connected to the supply mains. So stator of the motor A is connected to the supply mains R, Y, B. The three-phase supply is there. Okay. So then, as usual, so if you switch on the supply, motor A start rotating. Motor A start rotating. Okay. So the shaft is coupled to the motor B, then it will be rotating. Okay. And what happened? The free number of poles present in motor A and number of poles present in motor B is different. Okay. So now suppose in motor A consists of number of poles are 4, motor B consists of number of poles are 6, then what happen? Your frequency is going to be changed, because frequency is equal to Pn by 120. Okay, or the speed ns is equal to 120 f divided by p. In both the case, the speed will be constant, because both are connected to the same shaft. And what about the frequency? Frequency is going to be changed. So this is the supply frequency represented by f, and rotor frequency is represented by f dash. So that same f dash is given to the motor B. Okay, so here, so what happens here? Main motor A, it is running separately, and auxiliary motor, it is also, both are running separately. What happens? NSA, so NS means synchronous speed of motor A, that is equal to 120 f by PA. PA means number of poles in the motor A. Similarly, NSB is equal to 120 f divided by PB, number of poles in the second motor. For example, pole is equal to 4 here, number of poles is equal to 6 here. Okay. So what happens? Your synchronous speed is both will be changing. Suppose combined together. So combined together. So that is called as cascading. So this is the cascade control. Combine together both the motor. So we will achieve, so the combination, because of the combination of cumulative cascade. Cumulative cascade. So cumulative cascade means both are in same direction. So therefore NSC C means cumulative cascade of the synchronous speed. So that is obtained by 120 F divided by both the poles PA and PB. PA plus PB. So this is for cumulative cascade. So similarly, differential cascade. Differential cascade means that is represented by NSD. D represents differential cascade. In that case, 120 F divided by PA minus PB, number of poles in A and B. So that is minus. Okay. So PA is the poles of motor A. PA is the poles, number of poles of motor A, and PB is the number of poles of motor B. Okay. So in this case, this method is expensive, because we require two motors. Okay, and smooth control is not possible. Smooth control is not possible. This is one type of method of speed control that is there. So operation is also complicated. These are the disadvantages of this method. Operation is also complicated. So this is called as a cascade control. So coming to the next one. Injecting EMF injecting EMF in the rotor circuit. So these are all speed control refer to the rotor side only. So hence we are injecting separate EMF to the rotor circuit. So this is one method called as Kramer system method. So refer this diagram. This is the Kramer circuit method. So there is a main motor is going to be controlled here. The speed controllers is achieved in this main motor. This is the main motor that is connected to the supply mains RYB. Three-phase supply is there. The stator part of the main motor connected to the RYB here. And this main motor coupled to the one DC motor as well as rotary converter. DC motor as well as rotary converter. So this DC motor shaft coupled with the main induction motor. So usually the slip ring rotor type induction motor is used here, and DC motor field excitation that is given separately by DC supply, and rotary converter. So this is also having a DC excitation supply that is given to the poles of the rotary converter, and whatever the DC motor output is there, that is connected to the rotary conversion circuit. Okay, we can vary the rheostat of field rheostat of the DC motor. So we can, whatever the EMF induced in the terminals, that is the commutator, across the commutator of the DC motor, so that is given to the rotary converter. So from that, whatever the DC is there, that is converted into AC here in the rotary converter. So that is AC supply that is given back like feedback system. So three AC wires that is connected back to the slip rings of the main motor. So we can control the rotor injecting. So we are injecting the EMF back to the main motor. We are injecting the EMF back to the main motor rotor circuit. This is the rotor part, slip ring rotor part. So we are injecting back the EMF to the rotor part, and how much EMF we are injecting, depending upon that, the motor speed will be varying. Okay, this is called as injecting EMF in rotor circuit by using Kramer system method. So which is in this case large motor, for example 4000 kilowatt. So this is the large motor. So this type of method that can be used for high rating machine. So because the circuit is very much complicated, so main motor is having a 4000 kilowatt. In that time only we require this type of arrangement for speed control. So we are not adopting this method for a normal 5 HP motor. Okay, so that is not employing because your cost is going to be very high. Okay, for all these arrangements. So whenever you are controlling this type of, some of the industries are using for different kind of application of 4000 kilowatt motor. So in that case, we need to control this very large motor by using this arrangement. Okay, this is called as Kramer system. So here rotary converters and slip rings of the main motors are connected to AC side of a rotary converter, and the DC side of the rotary converter feeds the DC shunt motor. So this is DC shunt motor here, and separately DC supply is required for the excitation of the field. So this is separate DC supply is given here, and exciting the winding of rotary converter. So both the windings, rotary converter winding and DC motor winding, that is excited by the DC supply. So variable resistance. So this is the R is the variable resistance that is introduced in the rotors, that is the field circuit. So if you vary this, so the flux will be becomes varied. So due to that, the EMF induced in the rotor DC motor or DC here in the across the commutator is also going to be varied. Okay, so that is feeding to the rotary converter. From the rotary converter here again DC is converted to AC, so that AC with a different frequencies and different EMF will get. So that EMF is bring back and injected back to the slip rings of the main motor, so we can control the speed of the induction motor by applying this method. This is called as Cramer's system method. Is it clear? So main advantage of this method is a smooth control, smooth speed can be achieved here. So in industry, smooth control is very much necessary. Okay, so you cannot control by using a just rheostat to the main circuit. Suppose if you introduce the three rheostat like this, but you are not getting a smooth control by varying this, because of lot of power loss will be occurring here. Okay, so for that purpose, smooth control of speed we are doing. These are all different types of arrangement. Okay, to achieve the smooth speed control. So this is very much essential in a large type of motor, large rating of motor. So this smooth control that will be possible here. Okay, so this is the main advantage of this system. Now next one is Scherbius system. So what do you mean by the Scherbius system? So this is also similar to the Cramer system, but only the arrangement is different here. So instead of rotary converters, the main motor circuit is connected to the Scherbius machine. So Scherbius machine means the brushes of the machine that is connected in 120-degree apart. Okay, connected in 120-degree apart, and for this a regulating transformer is needed here. So that regulating transformer, by varying the regulation of the transformer, okay, we can injecting the EMF back to the main motor by using the Scherbius system. So here figure shows this another method known as Scherbius system for controlling the speed of large motor. Controlling the speed of large motors, and the slip energy is not converted into DC here. In the previous case, slip energy is converted to DC, and DC again converted to AC by using the rotary converter and all those things. But in this case, it is not like that. Rather than it is fed directly. So whatever the slip energy, the slip frequency is there, so that is fed directly to the Scherbius machine. Okay, through the slip ring, it is directly fed to the Scherbius machine. So after that, what happens? A three-phase Scherbius special type of machine. So the commutator called as Scherbius machine. So the AC commutator motor, that is especially that is used here. AC commutator motor. This is used as a Scherbius machine. So what happens here? The polyphase winding machine, it is supplied with the low frequency output, and the machine through regulating transformer. Through regulating transformer, the low frequency output can be transferred back to the main motor. Again, this is the feedback, low frequency drive. Okay, so if frequency varies, automatically speed can be controlled. Okay, speed can be controlled by varying the frequency. So this commutator motor is a variable speed motor. The Scherbius AC commutator motor is also called as variable speed motor. And its speed is controlled either varying the tappings of the regulating transformer. So here this is the variable transformer is there here, like auto transformer. So if you vary this knob, so what happens? The speed control can be achieved in the Scherbius machine. Similar to the way, so the speed control can be achieved in the main motor. So because that is injecting back to the main motor rotor circuit. Okay. So either by varying the tapping of the regulating transformer or by adjusting the position of the brush. So position of the brush we can also adjust like some angle. So due to this we can also control the speed control of main motor. So this is called as Scherbius system. This is another method of rotor control method. So last one is slip power recovery system. So here in this case, the power electronic devices are used here. So power electronic devices, some bridge rectifiers are used. So that is called as diode. So diodes are represented like this. So anode and cathode terminals are there. Similarly, a thyristor. I have told in the last class about thyristor. So thyristor means, so this is also a controlled rectifier. So diode is just a rectifier. So this is controlled rectifier. We are going to study in power electronics. That is next semester we are going to study in this subject, controlled rectifier. How we can control that can be achieved. So here anode, this is cathode, and this one is gate terminal is there. So we are giving the gate signal by applying the gate signal. So the alpha is the firing angle that can be varied in the thyristor. So this is thyristor family is there. So in that there are SCR, silicon control rectifier. So there are so many families are there. So these thyristors are connected like this. So you can use it in inverter and triacs and all those things. So these thyristor circuit inverting, and here the bridge rectifier is the converting AC to DC here, AC to DC, and smoothing inductor is provided, that is L here, and these tracks, so again it is converting back DC to AC here, the inverting mode. So that is given to the three-phase transformer back. So that supply again the same grid is our supply line. So whatever that is firing angle control that can be achieved. So the changing in voltage that is applied to the motor input. So the motor can control the speed of the induction motor. Okay, in this method, the rotor AC slip power. This is the rotor AC slip power. This is called as slip power. That is converted into DC. Okay, through a rectifier circuit, and that is called as diodes. And using diode, so this rectified current is smoothed by the smoothing inductor, and this is given to the input as a input to the inverter circuit. This inverter circuit converts back to the AC, DC to AC, right? And as the voltage across the slip is limited, and a three-phase transformer is used here, because of that, so we are boosting the voltage. So a three-phase transformer is used to output of an inverter is fed back to the AC supply. Is fed back to the AC supply. So then, as the slip power flows only in one direction, the slip power that is flows in only in one direction, and this method offers speed control below synchronous speed, that is NS. So the speed control can be achieved by for below synchronous speed machines. Okay, so and it provides constant torque control. This is one advantage. Constant torque control can be achieved here, and this is the main advantage, and also high efficiency and low cost. So this is because we can these power electronic devices will get at low cost instead of we are using uh, rotary converter circuit and DC motor. Okay, these are all again another machine we need to purchase. The cost is higher. So instead of using those method, by using power electronic devices with a low cost, and we can achieve the various type of speed control and smooth of speed control that can be achieved here. Okay, so therefore that is one of the advantage of this method is high efficiency and low cost. Low cost method of speed control. It is also called as static Scherbius system. Quick recovery system is also called as static Scherbius system. Okay, because in this case another motor we are not using, rotating type is not there. Okay, so entire it is stationary. Okay, the speed control drive is stationary, only motor is rotating. Okay, hence it is called as static Scherbius system. Okay, any doubt regarding this? So this is these are the different kinds of speed control of in three-phase induction motors in rotor side. So this completes this chapter. So from the next class, we will go to the single phase induction motor. So next class we will discuss about single phase induction motor. So any doubts? So if we complete single phase induction motor, total 4 modules will be completed. So thank you very much.